How can you make business owners happier in their life, more fulfilled, and enjoy life being a business owner?
I love that question, Chris, because that actually comes back to how I define success. So a few years ago, a friend of mine wrote a book called Success Redefined and asked me to contribute to the book. And they got a bunch of people who had like influence online and stuff to contribute to this book. And I can't even tell you what I gave them as a definition of success, but it was a couple of paragraphs, right? My position on that's changed massively. For me now, success is summed up with one word: serenity. Success is peace of mind. Success is being comfortable with yourself, your actions, is putting your head on the pillow at the end of the day and saying, I'm okay with myself. That's true success. So many people measure success by external factors like how much money have you got, what car do you drive, where do you live, where did you go on holiday. None of that matters
Okay.
if you're not cool with yourself, right? So one of the
Is this different to happiness?
absolutely, it's more contentment than happiness, because happiness will pass. There will always be times in your life where you're going to be unhappy, right? Because I don't care if you say you want to be happy all the time. Like if something tragic happens to your loved ones, for example, you're not going to be happy.
I agree.
But can you still be content?
On a base level, yes.
Exactly. So it's more about contentment than happiness. It's more about appreciating the things that are in your life rather than longing for the things that are missing. Okay. And so to go back to
Love what you've got, not what you haven't.
exactly. And if I go back to your kind of original question on that, the way I tend to work with business owners, especially if I'm like coaching, mentoring them, but this comes across in my training as well, right? So, in fact, let me give you a really good example on that. There's a training course I ran about 8 weeks ago now, 12 weeks ago, that kind of time frame. Every single attendee of that course cried at some point during the 2 days. Now, that wasn't my intention, and I certainly wouldn't market the course by saying,
Was
hey,
that your
come and work
retreat
with-"
thing?
Yeah. And I certainly wouldn't market it in terms of, come and spend 2 days with me and I'll put you in tears, because no one will want to come, right? But we don't only work on a business. And anyone I work closely with, we don't only work on the business. And if you're not cool at looking at yourself, you're probably the wrong person to work with me, right? Because although we'll work on your business and we'll get you results in your business, most of that comes by you working on you, by you looking at you. And so, we talked about culture, conversation, consistency in one of your other videos, but I basically build around those three things. So, like, what is it that matters to you as an individual, right? How do we build the life that gives you that? So, how do we build the business that gives you that life? Now, for some people, they love what they do, they love being in the business, they want to be the face of the business, they want to be central to it. That's what fires them up. That's cool. For other people, they just want the income from the business, and if they can minimize the amount of time they have to spend in it so they can spend time on other stuff, that's what they want, right? Neither of those is right or wrong, by the way. It's just different opinions. It's a different perspective. But it's like, what are you trying to achieve with your life? Now, how do we build the life around that? And I kind of fell into being a business coach. It was never my goal. It was never my intention. In fact, I fell into several things. I was in the IT industry for about 17 years. I got to a point where my final kind of role in that industry, I was running offices in 4 countries, spending my life flying around the world, and I just got to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore. So I took like a mini retirement. It took about 6 months where I didn't really do anything. But I had a blog. And during that period, around that kind of timescale, that blog got over 1 million organic readers in an 18-month window. No paid ads, no nothing. That led to me being asked to speak at Jamie Oliver's big festival, and it led to me being on the BBC, Huffington Post, a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And people started to say, Neil, look, it's cool that you've done all this stuff, but we want to know, like, how have you built this brand? Not what the business is about, but how have you built the business? And so I started coaching 1 or 2 people around like personal brand building, marketing, sales, that kind of stuff. That led to me launching a training business that I was in for about 3 years, but I exited in December of last year. And now I've kind of gone a little bit more, dare I say, a little bit more boutique with the approach I'm taking. I'm speaking at a lot of other people's events, which is the way that a lot of people get to see me. But in terms of my own stuff, I'm working with smaller groups because we can go deeper. Because what I've found is during those like 3 years of delivering lots of business and marketing training and stuff, almost everything I did was making an impact on people personally, not just on their business, unintentionally. And I had so many people coming back to me basically saying, you know, you've helped change my life. Now, I nearly said you've changed my life, but I don't think I'm ever responsible for it. Even if other people tell me I am, I don't think I am, because they have to do the work, right? You know, I might help them identify something to work on, but they have to put it into place. It's not me, you know. But you know, I love seeing that change in people, seeing that shift in them, that shift in their whole outlook. You know, you're meeting someone who, when you first meet them, basically is even questioning whether it's worth living in some cases. I mean, I know that's extreme, but there are people, and you know who some of the people I'm talking about are, right? Where they've been questioning their own existence, and in an 18-month, 2-year window, they're a completely different human being. Like, everybody wants to be around them. They light other people up. They're inspiring and helping other people. They've done some incredible things in their business, in their person. Like, everything has changed for them. And you can't buy that.
You can't, can you?
You know, and I remember the video with Matt Giggs where he was asking you why you do what you do, right? And it's kind of the same. You know, yes, we all have to make an income. Yes, we all have bills to pay, mortgages to pay for, you know, all that kind. We all have that stuff, right? But there's an aspect of what I do that you can't buy. And I can't even fully articulate it. But it's the difference in other people and the ripple effect of that makes me do what I do. Because every single person that I work with, where they have some kind of major shift in their outlook, that then gets passed on to someone else and someone else and someone else and someone else. And it's like the legacy of that. And I don't need to be named in it. I don't have the kind of ego that says it's a legacy where everyone goes, you know, bow down to Nick. No, none of that stuff. It's making lives better. And if I can wake up in the morning and go, okay, what can I do today to help someone, even if I don't get found out? In fact, very often deliberately not being found out.
Or get paid.
Exactly, yeah. You know, it's much more about what's the impact I can have to help other people. It's not about the money.
Cheers, mate.